So today we are going to continue reviewing some questions and answers. And I want you to get ready for an hour and a half. Okay, however long it takes to do maybe 30 questions, 15 state and 15. We'll start out with 15 national questions to let anybody that's throughout the United States be with us. And at the end, we'll do the 15 state questions. So I asked and I heard and I'm delivering. Okay, I had a poll today asking students what they wanted to study. And majority vote was national and state questions. Okay, so stay tuned. This is Wild Lily Handy coming to you with YouTube Agent Prep out of San Antonio, Texas. However, hey, I'm reaching to you throughout the USA. So we're continuing, all right, with questions on national exam. We're continuing with question, I think it is 16. And we'll do about 15 questions of that. And as usual, this is now what we are using. Many of you have this book already. Some of you do not. So if you'd like a copy of this book, you've got to fill out a form and you'll automatically get it. So for those of you that might be on Facebook, all right, since I am streaming it on Facebook, before leaving a comment, okay, go to StreamYard.com and give StreamYard permission to post your name on here because Facebook won't allow it if StreamYard isn't given permission to see your name. So there you have it, StreamYard.com/Facebook. All righto. So hi, Donnie. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Donnie is studying hard, man. We're interacting at night, in the morning. He's letting me know what he's doing. That's awesome. I love it. And I'll tell you what, he's working hard. He's going to pass that real estate exam. And so let's get going here. As usual, this is the book that we're using today until we finish it, Real Estate Exam. It's actually Texas Real Estate Exam, but it has national questions, state questions. It has 4 exams of 110 questions. It's got, you know, a test preparation system, refresher course, and it lets you know what the Texas real estate exam is or what the real estate exam is nationally. Real estate glossary, which is your vocabulary and definitions, which I stress, okay, for you all to pass. Where do you fill out to get the book? Oh, okay. Shoot. Okay, bear with me. All right, let me see if I can get that real quick here. Where did I put it? Just bear with me here. Gosh, wouldn't you know it? When you want to get something right away, it doesn't happen. Oh, well, you know, I've been up since, 2:30 this morning, not my usual hour, but I've been up since then. And I'll get it to you in just a moment, okay? So get ready, get your coffee, get your soda, get your beer, water, whatever you're going to drink while we're here. And we'll get going in just a moment. All right, let me see here. Is this it? Yes, that'll be it. Let me share it. All right, I'm going to put it in the chat box here on StreamYard. It's a Google form and it asks you for your information, your phone number, your full name when you're taking the exam, and your email, things like that. And it's got a couple of videos attached to it that you can watch. All right, so just click on that or copy and paste and put it on your Google or Chrome. All right, very good. Let me turn this off here so I don't get all confused. Okay, so how's everybody's day going? Awesome, I hope. Mine's been very productive. Oh my gosh, I've been on YouTube training courses so I can do a better job of helping you doing these videos. All right, anyway, so let's get going here with question number 16. So remember to type your question and the answer, the question number and the answer in the chat box. Okay, my mind is racing. Okay, that's what I did a little video about this morning. My mind racing. So what do I do when our mind is racing? And this will apply to you as you're studying to take your exam. Is, hey, I go out in the walk in nature with my cats and love doing that because, you know, cats are nocturnal. And I have some friends on here that love cats, you know, Jen. Hey, Jen, how you doing? And the cats play and I walk around and my mind starts to relax and unwind. However, today I didn't get to go back to sleep. All right, number 16, national questions. A seller must sell quickly because of a personal financial need and instructs her listing agent to list a property at a price just under market value as determined by the competitive market analysis. The listing agent to do. Okay, so let's see what the question is asking. So seller must sell quickly. How fast? Fast, right? Because of a personal financial need. So the fact that they have to sell quickly, we want to give them the closest comps that are available within the last month, 3 months, 6 months, no longer, unless we can't find comps. And it instructs the listing agent to list the property at price just under market value, okay, which is a good thing, okay, because they want to sell quickly, as determined by the competitive market analysis, CMA. What is a competitive market analysis? So that, well, I better not tell you yet. So the listing agent should do what? A, write distressed sale, seller anxious in all advertising. B, tell buyers to make any offers as the seller is desperate. C, help the seller stage the property and market it at the listed price. Or D, do all of the above to get a quick sale. Okay, remember, our due diligence, our fiduciary responsibility is to keep them private, okay? To keep their personal information private, right? A competitive market analysis is what? It includes active, pending, and sold. Why? You want to let them know what their competition is. That's why it's called competitive. You want to let them know how many days it took to get an offer, how long a property went pending. And then 3, sold. How long did it take for them to sell? How long were they on the market? Based on that, we can encourage them and give them a price range that they need to sell quick. We're going to price it under. Now, on a fast market, though, we may not have to price it that low, but sometimes pricing it low will get many, many offers, multiple offers, especially in this market. Okay, so type your answer in the chat box and we'll be right back. Don't hesitate. Type your answer in the chat. Because this is the time for you to practice and let me help you if for some reason you get the answer incorrectly. Okay? All right. So let's get to it. The music didn't come on. So let's see what answers we have. So we have 16C. Yes, Donnie, I was very busy. The music didn't come on. Now there's the music. Sorry. So let's see what answers we have. all this stuff going on. It's because I opened just bear with me, just deal with the background noise for a little bit. Is because when I open up Facebook, not open it up, get the video going, it starts to portray sale, whatever I did. Okay.
Yes, Donnie, I was very busy.
So what is the answer?
It is because when I open up Facebook, not open it up, get the video going, it starts to portray sale, whatever I did. Okay. Yes, Donnie, I was very busy. So what is the answer? It is because when I open up Facebook, not open it up, get the video going.
Sorry about that, guys.
To portray sale, whatever I did. Okay, Donnie.
I had to work on my computer today because it was running really slow, and it still is. Sorry about that, guys.
Portray sale, whatever I did. Okay, Donnie.
I had to work on my computer today. Just bear with me, please.
It was running really slow.
Computer is not cooperating with me. I may have to hire a Fiverr computer technician to help me remotely.
And to sell, how long were they on the market? Based on that, we can encourage them and give them
Gee, talk about Lillie, being all over the place. Oh my gosh. All right, so I'll get with it, all right? Dang. Hold on. So we've got 16C. Okay, there's quite a few of you on here. So come on in and type an answer, okay? I'll give you a chance to type an answer. Before I say yay or nay. So hi, Lisbeth, and Jen already heard me. Oh, you're having a glass of wine. Wait, I don't have any wine. But I did have some margarita last night. Okay, anybody else? Come on, y'all. There are about 10 or 15 of you on here. Oh boy, let's see. We're on exam number 2, right? On the national questions. Yes, okay. Exam number 2. Sorry, my computer is running really slow today because I have so many windows open, which is normal for me. But it's okay. So the answer on this, no, we're on exam. Gosh, you see, it's all over the place. Okay, so the buyer, the listing agent can't tell anybody that that the seller is desperate. They can't tell them they're distressed or seller is anxious, right? Because the buyer will then offer something lower. So the best answer here is help the seller stage the property and market it as listed at the listed price. Okay, that is the correct answer. So the answer is 16C. Very good. All right, number 17. Oh, let me type it on Facebook because last time we didn't have them all on there. (17) The Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act, known as RESPA, Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act. So what is the settlement? The settlement statement is what it has the all the act. I'm sorry. the debits and the credits. But this is Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act. Applies to what? A, all financing, residential financing. B, land contracts. C, first mortgages only. D, financing of 1 to 4 family residents. So what's a land contract? Okay, there's definitions. What's a first mortgage? And more definitions. So type your answer in the chat. Okay, so far I have 17D. The Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act applies to anybody else? Okay, another 17D. D. Come on, there's quite a few of you on here. Go ahead and type your answer. Let me help you. And yes, the answer is 17B. It is for financing of 1 to 4 family residences. Most of the acts and the laws that are created are to protect the consumer, right? And with residential properties, because what? Commercial and investors, they should know what they're doing, okay? Where most first-time home buyers, any repeat home buyers, okay, they're not as savvy as a commercial client or as an investor. So the laws are there to protect them. All right, number 18. Now that's a long one. So if it was me on the exam, I would skip this one, click it for review, come back to it later, right? Because it's long and I was not a fast reader. Okay, number 18, and you can do that on the exam. A broker has listed a tract of land on the outskirts of a city with frontage on a major interstate highway. Okay, broker listed a tract of land, a piece of land on the outskirts of the city with frontage on a major interstate highway. The broker knows there's a probability of highway construction along the frontage of the property in the future, but the government has announced no specific construction plans. At this point, the broker should do what? A, should aggressively market the property without reference to possible highway construction. B, should tell the seller that the probability of highway construction makes his property much less valuable and he should sell quickly to get a better price. C, should tell the seller that the probability of highway construction will make his property more valuable in the future and he should wait to sell to get a better price. Or D, should market the property as the seller directs and disclose to prospects any information about the possible construction. Okay, type your answer in the chat box and we'll be right back. Hi, Elida. All right, so let's see, what is the answer? I've got 18D, D, D. Now, Yesenia, do me a favor and add the question number when you type the answer. But thank you for participating. So D, 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 D. Anybody else? Going once, going twice, gone. It is 18D. Should market the property as the seller directs and disclose to prospects any information about the possible construction. Very good. Okay, so what was, I'm going to type the answers on Facebook when it gets ready. Okay, number 19. Laws regulating the maximum rates charged for loans are primarily enacted by whom? So laws regulating the maximum rates charged for loans are primarily enacted by whom? A, the Treasury Department, B, individual states, C, Congress, or D, the Comptroller of the currency. So type your answer in the chat and we will be back. Okay, and the answer is for 19. See, I've got 19B, A, B, and disregard the next answer on there. I was typing the answers for the other three questions, and D. Okay, it is not D, and it's not B. I'm sorry, and it's not A. So give it another try. So laws regulating maximum rates charged for loans are primarily enacted by. So if you ever go into bankrate.com or you go look for interest rates, remember it asks you, oh, what state are you in? Right? Because every state is a little bit different interest rate. You know, pretty much it's closed nationally, but it's different. So the correct answer here is B. Individual states regulate the maximum interest rates charged. Every state has a little bit. So when you have a chance, go online and look for interest rates or bankrate.com, and it'll ask you what state are you in. And that is why. Every state's laws, it's called the usury laws, okay, enact to protect buyers or borrowers from unreasonably high interest rates. So 19B. Got it? Oh, I should be showing. So let me go back and show all the answers. So 19B. And then I'll show this one. 16C, 17D, and 18D. So another thing that I've learned is that if for some reason you don't know the answers and you are looking at some of the answers of the questions, and if there are 3 of them that have B, 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 more than likely the answer of the one that you're not sure of will be B, because sometimes they go consecutively. So that's a good chance to take, okay, when you don't know it, is see what the 3 prior to that question were and choose that one. Okay, so 19B. Number 20, a math problem. Laura Murphy is buying a new home for $193,000. So Laura is buying. She makes a $40,000 down payment and finances the balance with 7.5 interest rate, 30-year conventional loan. So check that out, 7.5% interest rate. That was in 2006 when this book was written. And currently our interest rates went down below 3. Now they're back up to like 4.5. So she had a 7.5% 30-year loan, conventional loan. The factor for repayment is $7 per thousand. So for every 1,000, it's going to cost her $7, okay, for the payment. After making the first payment, what is the remaining balance on Laura's loan? So what she does, 40,000 down. What's the purchase price? 193, okay? So she brings that in. What makes the list price go down, or the loan amount becomes what? And then it says $7 per every $1,000. Okay, so take a moment to calculate that. Use pencil and paper instead of calculators, okay? Because calculators make us lazy. And our mind doesn't think as well when we do that. They say people get dementia when we don't exercise our mind. Type your answer in the chat box and we'll be back. Hey, Rod, thanks for joining us. Simple math, okay? Not very hard math. All right, so let's see what we have, okay? Nobody's taken a risk yet, so probably haven't finished calculating. So you have 193,000 minus 40,000, right? Because she's putting 40,000 down. So that leaves you what? 153,000. Okay. So at a rate of 7.5% for 30 years, there's a table that you'll be given on the test if they want you to do something like this. And but here it already tells you it's going to cost $7 per thousand. But after the first payment, what is the remaining balance? So if there's 153,000 left, you're going to do what? Divide that by 1,000, right? And you get what? 153 1,000. Multiply that by 7, me see if I have a little writing tool on here. Mhm. Usually I do. Not today. I don't have a writing tool on here. Okay. So 150, nobody's typing an answer? Nobody's risking it? So it's 153,000 divided by a thousand, you get 153. You multiply that by 7, and you get $1,071. That is for principal and interest. When they give you a question like this, the 7.5% for 30 years is for principal and interest, PI, not taxes and insurance. That is separate. Okay? So, um, so what they also do here is they multiply 153, because that is the loan, times the 7.5%. So 0.075. And they get, and they divide that by 12, right? Because there's 12 months in the year. You get 12 payments, right? So they get $956.25 interest. So because this is interest, when you multiply that times 153, it's like if you were making interest only payments. The $7 per thousand is for principal. Okay, so now you have to subtract, okay, the $1,071, which is the principal and interest, minus the interest, which is 956.25, leaves 114 that go towards the principal. So what causes the monthly balance to reduce, or the loan balance to reduce? The principal, right? Interest, no. You're paying interest because you borrowed the loan. So then it's subtracting 153,000, that's the loan balance, minus the first payment principal amount of 114. So I'm going to type it in the chat, okay? So what they did was 153,000, okay, divided by 1,000 equals 153, okay? And then we take 153,000 times 0.075, and that equals, I'm sorry, then divide it, okay, hold on, it didn't do times two. Oh my gosh, what's going on here? Lillie is pressing the incorrect key. It had been 8 instead of the times button. The times 0.075 divided by then 12 months gives a payment of 956.25, and this is the interest only. Okay, so we had, so then we have the 153, which is 153,000, right? Times $7, right? That equals 1,071, right? And that is the principal and interest payment. Okay? So now we have the interest only payment, we have the principal and interest payment. So she's made one payment, all right? So it was 153,000, so I'm sorry. So 1,071 minus the interest amount, 956.25 cents. That gives us 114.75. So that is the principal amount. So 114.75 is the principal. Yes, the principal only. Okay. So we have principal and interest is 1,071 minus the interest. Oh, I already gave you the answer. No, I'm sorry. So the next thing we have to do is 153,000 minus the one payment of 114.75, and that'll give an answer of she has a balance left of 152,885.25. That is the remaining balance. So it's a two-step calculation, right? So whenever they give you an interest for any type of year, that is only for interest only. And the 7,000, so the factor for repayment is $7. So when they say repayment, that is for the monthly payment including principal and interest. So you're calculating what is the interest charge, what is the total principal and interest amount after you subtracted the 40 from 193, right? The loan balance was 153,000. So once you have the interest and the principal and interest, okay, then you've got to divide the interest by 12. Okay, because interest is charged annual percentage rate. So you divide it by 12 and then you minus it by the principal amount. So it sounds confusing, okay? So you follow what I typed on here. What I didn't do, let's see here. So let me show it on the screen, okay? So we had 153,000 divided by 1,000 gave us 153 thousandths, right? Because it says $7 per thousand. Okay. Then we multiply 153 times 7. And we get 1,071. So that is the principal and interest. That's this right here. 153 times 7, because the 7 per thousand is the repayment factor, and that includes principal and interest. Okay. And the interest amount, it's calculated from 153,000 times 0.075 divided by 12, right? Because it's annual percentage rate. So it's for the whole 12 months. And you divide it by 12 so that you get what the interest is for 1 month, 956.25. So now you have the interest for that month, and you have the principal and interest amount. You subtract the two, and you get, where's the answer? And you get this answer, 152,885.25. Okay, so one way to also think about this is we know it's not going to be A. And why is that? Because when you subtract 193 minus 40,000, it leaves you 153. So A is out. Okay, so it's either going to be B, C, or D. Okay, but when you multiply, let's see, the other way to figure this out quickly is with, oh, I typed the answer wrong. It's 152,885. I said something about 125. Hold on. It's 152, comma 885.25 cents. Okay, not a exclamation point or whatever I typed. Okay, so let me give you another key factor. So since the principal, okay, is ends in 75 cents, the answer is going to have to be one that ends in 25 because we have an even number. Okay, 153,000. Okay, minus, okay, the interest amount and the principal amount, you end up with a balance of 25 cents. So let's go back. Because the interest was 956.25, and then the principal was 114.75. When you subtract those two, you come out with, where did I show it here? Anyway, it's sounding confusing. All right. I wish I could draw it on there, but I don't find the tool for drawing on the screen. And let me see here. Edit text and images. No, anyway, I better not try to figure it out right now. Okay, so the answer is 152,885 and 25 cents. All right, so let's go to number 21. So another thing is leave your math problems for the end, because if you're not comfortable with math, you're going to spend a lot of time, as you can see how we spent it on here, okay? Because I'm explaining each of the steps. Luckily, I don't have to calculate it. I have the answer in front of me. Okay, number 21. Any questions on that? That one was kind of confusing. 7 math questions on test. Ugh, yeah, right. Some people get less. It's amazing. It's not always the same amount. Okay. So what else was I wanting to do? How else was I trying to see if you can get a quick answer? Sometimes by looking at the answer on math problems and seeing what the question is asking, you can determine, what it's going to be. When we first multiplied what was it? The principal, no, it's not that quite easy to figure it out on here. Oh, yes. Okay. When we did this, okay, here's where you can, when you do this step, where is it? When you do this, no, not that step. When you ended up subtracting, okay, when you came up with what the principal amount is of 114.75, okay, then from there, you'll know that the answer has to end up with a 25, because the difference from the principal and interest minus the interest, okay, gave a 70.75 cents. Then the answer has to end up being a 25. And we know that A is not it because it's over the balance loan of 153. So if you're having a hard time with math, hey, review math and calculate your answers. Do it on paper. Don't just do it on your calculator. Get to understand what they're asking. Okay? You confused? Yeah, me too. Okay, so what was the answer for number 20? D. All right, number 21. Edmund is being shown homes by real estate salesperson Alex. Several times in the course of looking at houses, Alex has said, I can help you get a great deal and we'll find the best possible property for you. Which of the following statements is true, okay, in this scenario? Don't make the mistake I did last week. A, Alex is providing full service for his customer. B, Edmund believes Alex is his agent as Alex has implied an agency relationship. C, Alex is performing good service to the sellers he represents in these showings. Or D, Alex is simply a facilitator. So Alex says, I can help you get a great deal and we'll find you the best property for you. So what does that make him sound like? Type your answer in the chat. So I've got a quick answer on this one, huh? Did I type the answer for 20? No, I didn't. I didn't type it on here. Okay, so far I have an answer of B for number 21. And anybody else? Don't be shy. 21A. Nope, it is not A. Lisbeth, take another try, another attempt, I should say. Okay, not enough risk takers. So the answer is 21B. Edmund believes Alex is his agent as Alex has implied an agency relationship, right? A verbal agency relationship. Now you're going to ask, do they still have to sign a buyer rep agreement? Yes. When they end up writing the offer, if the buyer doesn't sign it in advance, I get them to sign it at the time that I send them the documents to sign for the offer. Okay, that's when I do it. So very good, Rod. And so how come Rod's not showing on here? Oh, Rod shows up as Facebook user. Hey, Rod, go to well, it's not Rod, but that's what she goes by. Go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and give StreamYard permission to post your name. That way I know who it is on StreamYard. So 21B. All right, number 22. Which of the following best describes the role of an agent who seeks a particular type of property for a client? Best describes the role, keyword agent, not broker, agent/realtor, okay? Not broker, who seeks a particular type okay, of property for a client. So it's an agent looking for a particular type of property, specific type of property for the client. So is that agent a general agent? B, independent contractor? C, a special agent? Or D, limited power of attorney? Definitions, vocabulary, glossary, right? Type your answer in the chat. So far, I've got 22C. And for those of you that are on YouTube, hey, show me some love and click the like button. It'll help the channel grow as I create more videos because I do a lot of research, okay? And I'm already looking for new books. All right, the answer is C. That is a special agent. Okay, I'm special, you're special. That one property is special. It's special to that buyer. So it is a special agent. I say spatial. Okay, a general agent is what? Is a property manager that is managing properties for an owner. That's a general agent. They have more responsibilities, and you've got to have a broker license unless you're an employee of that owner. Okay, but if you're a broker, then you're a general agent. Otherwise, an independent contractor, we're all independent contractors. All agents are independent contractors. And yeah, we're not an attorney. Okay, we don't have a power of attorney. And a general agent could be given a power of attorney by their client that has multiple properties, apartment complexes, huge ones. Otherwise, no. Very good. Spatial agent. We're all spatial. Gosh, I keep forgetting to show the answers. So 22, they're 21B and 20D. All right, number 23. Any questions? I'm checking on all my sites. Nope. Because remember, I'm streaming this to 3 locations. So I'm looking at 3 windows and 4 different screens. All right. Hey, thank you for all those likes, y'all. Yesenia, Jen, Elida. See who else is on YouTube. So anyway, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Love it, love it, love it. Number 23. One of the features of the Taxpayers Relief Act of 1997 is, one feature of the Taxpayers Relief Act. A, limited amnesty for unpaid taxes. B, the ability to deduct interest on personal loans. C, the exclusion of a single person of up to $250,000 of capital gains resulting from the sale of a principal residence. Or D, the elimination of the office in the home deduction. Think about that one and we'll be back. Write your answer in the chat. I'm going to go daydream while you all think. All right, and the answer is, see, I've got 23C, 23C. Come on, y'all, there's a whole bunch of you on here. Type your answer. Maybe I need to give you a little more time. Type your answer in the chat. Chatty with me. You gotta chat with me because you can't talk. And the answer is C, the exclusion of a single person of up to $250,000. Okay, so when you buy a home and you make a lot of improvements to it, or the market increase it drastically, like in California or New York or Chicago, it doesn't happen here in Texas or in many other states in the US. But in those major states, it can go up tremendously. So if the increase when you sell the property gives you a profit of $250,000, okay, after paying all the closing costs, the commission, and any other thing, then the taxpayers relief allows that person not to pay capital gain taxes, okay, on that $250,000 profit, okay, of a principal residence. If it's an investment property, now you still have to pay capital gains. But if it's on a personal property and you profit $250,000, no capital gains is due. Now, if it's a couple, then you're allowed $500,000. Okay, of capital gains profit on a primary residence, that the taxpayers don't have to pay taxes for that. So very good. You all did awesome on that. All right, number 24. Moving right along. Got a little bit slow with the math problem, but that's okay. Okay, 24. The practice of inducing owners to sell through fear tactics. The practice of inducing, keyword, owners to sell through fear tactics, another keyword, that certain minorities are moving into an area is known as A, getting listings, B, steering, C, blockbusting, or D, bait and switch. Advertisement does bait and switch, but that's not it for here. Answer in the chat, and we'll be back. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger said, I'll be back. I was into bodybuilding, so I followed him for years. All right, and the answer is, I feel like we're in The Price is Right. And door number 1 is, so 24 is C, blockbusting. I call it the realtor is busting the block. They're breaking the block, right? So when you're dealing with sellers, it's blockbusting. When you're dealing with buyers, it's buyer steering. I call it BS, bullshit. It is not BS for buyers, right? Buyer steering. And for sellers, it's blockbusting. And that's because realtors want to get a whole bunch of listings because that's how we make a lot of money. We can represent more sellers at one time than we can represent buyers, right? Buyers take a lot of time, and some realtors are excellent with buyers and they love working with buyers. I personally have always worked with sellers. That's the majority of my business, but I do work with buyers. It was harder for me to work with buyers for some reason until I took a accredited buyer specialist course. All right, got it? 24C. So they also call it panic peddling, blockbusting. It's illegal according to what? Fair housing laws. Okay, where somebody is pushing, fearing the owners, okay, to move out of the area. All right, number 25. No one seems to own the vacant lot next to Henry's house, so he used it for a garden for many years. So hey, he took use of, upon his help to use that property because nobody was ever there. So he may have a good chance of going to court and obtaining ownership by how? So if somebody uses a whole bunch of uses land, every state is a little bit different, and if they use it, they maintain it. What can they do after so many years? A, escheat, B, condemnation, C, adverse possession, or D, remainder. So if you're taking somebody's property that you've been using, but it's not yours, but you've been maintaining it, taking care of it, owner never said anything, what would that be? All right. Hey, people are more awake than I am tonight. 25 CC, monsieur. Oui, oui, monsieur. uh, Tyler Perry. I love Tyler Perry. Okay, I've watched all his movies, I think. So yes, it is C. Adverse possession. Adverse possession. Very good, y'all. I should ask, where is everybody here from? Is everybody here from Texas today, or are there other states? Okay, because of the math problem and one of the others, we did 10 questions, so I'm gonna cut it off for national, unless you guys are willing to stay a little bit longer so that I do also 15 per state. I can do 5 more for national. Wash hands, yes. So if you want to stay a little bit longer, I can do 5 more for national. Let me know ASAP, please. Sorry, I come around a little bossy. Here comes the judge, like that one person said. You want me to do 5 more for national? Yes, please. Okay, that's Rod. All right, good. Let's do 5 more. Okay, a broker sponsors several salespeople of various ethnic and racial groups. A broker sponsors several salespersons of various ethnic groups. When he receives inquiries about his listings, his or her listings, he refers the prospect to a salesperson of the same group as the prospect. So what is the, no math tonight though, well, except for that one question. The broker is doing what? By assigning, okay, an associate of the same race or culture. A, in violation of fair housing laws. B, giving an extra benefit to his prospects. C, giving an extra benefit to his prospects and associates. D, following proper guidelines for special services under fair housing laws. So think about that one and we'll be back. Type your answer in the chat. The question number and the answer, please. Oh, Jen, thank you for the kitty cat face on YouTube. You got to watch my early morning video, 5 minutes or something. It was dark, okay, but I still have to put a thumbnail. You can tell I have fun, huh? All right, and the answer is the price is right. No. Okay, wow. 26A. 26A, A. And that is correct. That broker is in violation of fair housing laws. A. Unless the individual only spoke that particular language, then that's different. They can assign a realtor to accommodate a person of a particular language, okay? But not just because they're of the same nationality. You'll have to watch the video, Jen, you know, at least a little bit of it. If y'all watch it all, it gives me a lot of credit. The longer you watch my videos, the more YouTube promotes my videos, okay? All right, 26A. I'm learning so much about YouTube, so when you decide to have a YouTube channel and you're with me at EXP, I will help you, because I just signed up for a coach of over $1,000. So you see, we have to reinvest in ourselves. Okay, 127. When Molly Green signed an offer to purchase the Simons house, she put an earnest money deposit in the hands of Simon's listing broker. What should the broker do with that money? More money. I got more money. I'm going to put it in my pocket. I'm going to put it in my checking account. Really? Think about it. A, give it directly to Simon. B, pass it on to his supervising broker. C, promptly deposit in a trust or escrow account. Or D, immediately turn it over to the seller's lawyer. Did they say they have a lawyer? So far, we've got 27C. Hi, Sonia. Hi, Angelica. Remember to hit that like button on YouTube. For those of you that are not on YouTube, hey, go over sometime and hit the like button. Write a comment. Okay, and the answer is whoopee, C. Promptly deposited in a trust or escrow account. X. All right, Jonathan. Hey, I like it, man. X. There ain't no X, but that's because you don't know, but you type C. So promptly deposited in a trust and escrow account. So long ago, a lot of real estate offices used to have their own trust account to deposit the client's, rental, their earnest money, option fees. They had their own escrow account until escrow was opened at a title company. Then they would write a check to the title company. So they had to have a separate account, right? A trust or escrow account. Nowadays, it pretty much goes directly to the trust account, to the escrow account, the title company, to an attorney, whoever's doing the closing, or it is wired in. Due to COVID, a lot of good changes happened, right? And one of them is they can wire the earnest money in. Yeah, I got it. I figured that, Jonathan. So the answer was 27C. Very good. All right, number 28. Simon says, no, Simon says 28. Oh man, that's a long one. What do I say about the long ones? I'll be back. I'll do it later when I know I have a little more time left. Oh my gosh, what did I do? Oh, sorry about that. You see, there's a Scantron on this book that you can print the Scantron and take the exam answers. Hold on, let me see what page I was on. Page, what is it? Page 187. So probably 188. All right, number 28. Careful with that mouse. Okay, 28. Foundation failure occurred 5 years ago on a house with a slab foundation, concrete foundation, right? So the owner had it repaired by a reputable foundation repair company and received a lifetime warranty on the work. The owner has recently listed the house for sale with a real estate broker. The owner does what? A, has no liability for disclosure because the repair has been completed and it is warranted. B, should tell the broker about the foundation in case a prospect asks about the structural soundness of the house. C, must disclose the foundation failure, subsequent repair, and pass the warranty to the buyer. Or D, is not required to disclose repairs done more than 2 years ago and does not need to tell anyone about it. Oh boy, right? What the word? Disclose, disclose, disclose. So type your answer in the chat and we'll be back. my music's not working very good tonight because of the internet. And the answer is let's see, I've got 28. C. Oui, monsieur. Yes, it is C. Must disclose the foundation failure, subsequent repair, and pass the warranty to the buyer. Very good. Awesome. All right, number 29. I love that one. Short and sweet. That's how I like my books too. Short and sweet. Okay, 29. A subdivider must place in the public records a map of the property known as a subdivider, okay, a builder, okay, a landowner that's subdividing, a contractor, a builder, must place in public records a map of the property known as A, plan, B, zone, C, plots, D, plat. Type your answer in the chat and we shall be back. All right, Jonathan. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that you are not giving up. Okay, look. Jonathan was brave to let us know that he failed the test for the third time, the state test, okay? But he's not deterred. He's going to continue. That's awesome. That's the attitude to have and to keep going. You know that some of my students, some of them, it took them 10 times to pass, and other realtors 12 times, and they became very successful realtors. Some are just not good test takers, or we get really nervous. Right, so the answer is yes, 29D. Very good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so let's see, last question of national. So number 30. The Civil Rights Act of 1866 prohibits discrimination in real estate based on A, race, B, race and gender, C, handicap and country of origin, or D, gender and religion. So Civil Rights Act of 1866. Type your answer in the chat. And we'll be back. And the answer is door number 1, door number 2, door number 3, or door number 4. It is door number 1, A, race. Very good. 30A, race. Awesome. Hey, you all did awesome on the national. And Jonathan says he failed it by one question and changed answers that were right. Hey, how did you know that you changed some answers that were right? Because they don't let you know what answers you did do or not. However, we have a feeling, right? And so that may be it. All right, so number 30 was A, but I'm so proud of you that you're continuing on, Jonathan. Great, great, great. All right, so now we're going to start with state questions. So anybody that is not from Texas, you're more than welcome to stay on, but these are Texas state questions. And I've started researching books for other states that just have their questions. Even though I'm not licensed there, I can learn the questions and the answers. Texas state questions are next. And somebody did me a great favor on one of the prior videos and wrote down the time of when the state questions started on YouTube. So that was awesome. Okay, so we are going into Texas state questions. Very good, y'all, on the national. And you can see that you learned vocabulary also, right? Okay, any questions so far before we move on to the state questions? Don't see any questions. All right. So let me take a sip of water. If you want, you can take a minute or two of break. I'll put a little music and let you take a bathroom break because we've been on here for a little over an hour. Okay. So take a break and we'll be back. Hey, you can even get up and do a little dance with me. Except that is not the best dancing music in my taste, okay? I was a disco duck. And I like country, I like salsa, cumbias, reggae, all kinds of music to dance. I love to dance. All right. That was me. That was you what? Dancing away? No. I don't know what you responded to, Jonathan. All right, are we ready? Get set and go. Okay, number 96. Oh my goodness. That's not good. Don't see the answers. Number 96 coming right along. All right, there we go. Hope you didn't see the answer. 200. Okay. State questions, Texas state questions for anybody that came in late or has been here. We're doing Texas state questions. And just a reminder that when you get a chance, subscribe to my YouTube channel, YouTube Agent Prep. Click a like button, click the little bell so that you're the first to get notified every time I go live or upload a new video, okay? Send me some love and I'll keep doing more and more videos. All right, number 96. A broker has a listing agreement signed by a seller and a buyer representation agreement signed by a buyer who is interested in purchasing the seller's property. Okay, broker has a listing agreement signed by a seller. They also have a buyer representation agreement signed by a buyer. Okay, so they're representing both sides. Okay, who is interested in purchasing the seller's property? Both parties have granted the broker permission to function as an intermediary through the written representation agreements, right? Seller signed one, buyer signed one. The buyer tells the broker that if he is successful in acquiring this property, he plans to purchase the surrounding property also. What should the broker tell the seller about this information? A, disclose it to the seller. B, withdraw from the transaction, do nothing. C, or D, wait and disclose it after closing. So when the seller is representing both sides, seller and buyer, that broker is an intermediary. When broker is representing both sides, they're an intermediary, right? So what are they allowed to do? Disclose to the seller, withdraw from the transaction, do nothing, or D, wait and disclose it later. Oh, yes, Jonathan, thank you. You were the one that posted the timestamp. Yes, I'm thinking of doing that from now on the video. I appreciate that. So you remembered the ones you were struggling with. Okay, got it. The answers, write your answer in the chat box. 96A, C, A. What number are we on? 96. It is not A. Take another attempt. The answer is C, do nothing. So the realtor associate, okay, that's been assigned by the broker representing the seller, they can advise the seller. The buyer agent can advise the buyer, but the broker that is an intermediary in the state of Texas cannot advise, okay, give recommendations. They can only mediate, okay? (96C). Very good. Hi, Rosaura. Thanks for joining us. All right, 96C. Very good. All right, moving right along. Number 97. Under the canons of professional ethics and conduct for brokers and salespersons, as promulgated by the Texas Real Estate Commission, known as TREC, what is the primary duty of real estate agents? So what is our primary duty as a realtor, as a salesperson, as a broker? A, to treat all parties to a transaction fairly. B, to represent the interest of their clients. C, to use prudence and caution. Or D, to reveal any latent defects. Type your answer in the chat and we will be back. Sonia, it is not A. So take another attempt. And Elida, it is not A, or Lida. And the answer is, B, fidelity, okay, to represent the interest of our clients first. So the first duty under Texas Real Estate Commission is fidelity. Represent the interest of others, not ours. And that's what canons of professional conduct calls for. The license to place the interest of the principal, the client, okay, the buyer, that are already under an agreement that has been signed. They're representing them. So then that is represent the interest of their clients first. Because we're getting paid by our clients, right? I mean, some of us may be getting paid by the other realtor. That's the listing realtor. They're the ones that will pay us. So 97 with B. Very good. All right, 98. You hear my talking kitty cat on the background? That's my kitten. He's the talker. All right, 98. Gertrude Goodhart always said that her two best friends would inherit her property when she died. Okay, that's what she said. 6 months ago, she died without having gotten around to writing a will. Never took time to write the will. She has no living relatives. What will happen to her property? Okay, so she made a verbal statement that her friends would inherit it, but she never wrote a will, and then she died. Okay, what happens? A, it will be divided between her church and the people who took care of her immediately prior to her death. B, since she told people of her wishes, it will be divided equally between her two best friends. C, it will be sold to the highest bidder at a public sale conducted by the probate court. Or D, it will become the property of the state of Texas under the state's legal provisions. Okay, so far I have 98 D, B, D. It is not B, Elida. Take another attempt at it. Hey, there's a whole bunch of you people on here, a whole bunch of you students, individuals. Type your answer in the chat. Come on, take a chance. Well, if you're driving, no, don't do that. Okay. The answer is 98D. If I haven't said hi to some of you that came in, I saw you, Senya. Please forgive me. The answer is D. When there isn't a will, right? Within, without, intestate, within, right? No will, without a will. It goes to the state. That is cheat, right? People feel cheated. Those individuals that didn't get it, they're going to say, well, she said I could have it. Well, she said, I said, we said, they said, wasn't on paper. So it goes to the state, right? All right. Always put it in writing. Otherwise, we make a what? A out of you and me. All right. Number 99. A seller received an offer last evening and is considering how to respond to it. While the seller is still thinking about the first offer, another offer is given to the listing agent. What should that listing agent do? A, present the second offer immediately. B, hold the second offer until the seller makes a decision about the first offer. C, call the agent who brought the first offer and tell him about the second offer. Or D, tell the seller that he needs to hurry up and make a decision about the offer he has in his possession. Do we tell them or do we advise them? What happens when there's multiple offers? When there are multiple offers? So far I have 99 AAA, Apple, Apple, Apple. Okay, see, I keep forgetting who's the Facebook user. Oh, that's Rod. The answer is A, Apple. Present all offers immediately. So it's awesome that they get multiple offers. It can cause the price to go up and the seller could get more money, but we are to present all offers immediately. So 99 is A. Very good. Okay, number 100. Which of the following people would need to obtain a real estate license if they were involved in a real estate activity? A, the executor of an estate. B, a court-appointed guardian. C, a trustee of the bankruptcy court. Or D, one who sells lots in a mobile home park. Type your answer in the chat and we'll be back. Here, come say hi. This is Pooty Tigger. I thought I saw a Pooty bird. Pooty Tigger. And the answer is, let's see what we got here. Let's see, D, 100, D. That's okay. Who is it? Rod, you don't have to apologize, but it didn't remember username. Okay. So the answer was D. One who sells lots in a mobile home park. It's a lot, right? It's real estate. Yeah, that's my kitty cat. One of them. He's a talker. All right, so 110D. Very good. Oh, I didn't type the 99D, 100D. If you see a delay on the answers, because I forgot to hit the return. Okay, 101. When does an offer become a binding contract? When does an offer become a binding contract? So, Rod says, yes, that's my name, Jessica. Okay, so when does an offer become a binding contract? A, when the last party has signed and the other party has been notified. B, when the signed contract has been delivered to the title company. C, when there is a meeting of the minds and earnest money tendered. Or D, when one party states verbally that the written offer is accepted. Oh man, I put 110. Oh my goodness, sorry about that. Thank you. Somebody's awake. Okay, on Facebook I typed 100. On here my fingers went too fast. So 100 was D, you all. those that are watching on the replay. Okay, so let's see, 101, we've got D. Ooh, take another guess, please. It is not D. It is not D as in dog. Take another attempt. So D says when one party states verbally that the written offer is accepted, who actually verbalizes it? The parties or the realtors? So it's not D. Okay, let's see. I have C, B, B. Okay, I've got to explain this one. Oh, Elida. That's because I'm saying Elida. Elida. Okay, got it. I'm saying about how her name is pronounced. Okay, so it is not B, C, C, or D. So that leaves us with A. Okay, so why is A correct? When does an offer become binding contract? When everybody has signed and the other party has been notified. Because remember, the other party can still terminate the contract, cancel, if they have not been notified that the person that they countered to has replied or signed. So if they're going back and forth, countering back and forth, and somebody takes too long, the one party that hasn't been notified can let their realtor know, says, hey, you know what? I'm not going to wait any longer, terminate it. And so let's say the buyer, okay, presents a contract to the other party. And if they haven't been notified of an acceptance, then it's not binding yet. So it has to be executed. It has to be signed by all parties, initialed by all parties, executed by the realtor, and then notify the other party. Everyone has to be notified. Okay. It is not when it's delivered to the title company. No. By the time it's delivered to the title company, everybody's been notified. Everybody has signed and been notified, hopefully. When there's a meeting of the minds and earnest money tendered, no. Okay, it has to be executed and everybody has to be notified. When one party states verbally, no, it's not one party. It's going to be a realtor that notifies the other realtor of their client's decision and client signing. It's between realtor to realtor, broker to broker. Okay, so Jonathan asks a question. So when you make an offer, the seller must sign the offer. Be very careful with the word must. They must not have to do anything. A seller they can either accept the offer, reject the offer, counter the offer, or sit on it. And sit on it, it's basically like they don't accept it. Okay. They don't have to sign anything. However, when at that point, okay, the realtor has earned, no, never mind. Yes, the realtor has earned a commission. So let's say it's a good offer, good terms, but the owner decides not to accept the offer because maybe they got cold feet. They want to get out of the transaction. They want to not sell after all. Well, they owe us a commission. We've already earned our commission, right? Because we brought them an offer. Now, if they're rejecting it or countering or just sitting on it because they don't agree with the offer price, they don't agree with the terms, they don't agree with the closing date or what the buyer is asking for, buyer closing costs, pay this, pay that, then they don't have to sign it. Okay, they don't have to sign anything. Because sometimes they're going to get a whole bunch of offers. In this market, some realtors have received, 20, 30, 40 offers for their client. and they can only select one and maybe another one in backup. Okay, so parties have to sign if it said executed, and the other party must be notified. Okay, that's when it's considered a binding contract. You're very welcome. See, did I type the answer? 101A, yes. Okay, 101A. All right, number 102. What number did we start off with? We started out with 96. Okay. What is a broker who is authorized to represent both of the parties in a transaction called? So in the state of Texas, what is a broker who is authorized to represent both parties in a transaction called? Not a realtor, not an agent, but a broker. Okay. A universal agent, B, an intermediary, C, a mediator, or D, a facilitator. Okay, so what is the answer for that? Type your answer in the chat with the number first and the letter. So here comes the judge. You must learn the vocabulary, right? Universal agent, mediator, intermediary, facilitator, all those are definitions, okay? And they're also in the state exam, right? So you need vocabulary for both national and state. Okay, so far I have B, 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 B. Awesome. The answer is 102B. Very good. Sometimes I feel like I'm in the bingo, even though I haven't gone in years. All right, number 103. Very good. All of the following are violations. Did I type the answer? Oh, somebody already. Oh, wait a minute. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. All of the following are violations of the Texas Real Estate Act, except, Lily, except, okay. A, taking a net listing. B, commingling. C, accepting a secret profit. Or D, not disclosing a dual agency. So all of the following violations are violations of the Texas Real Estate Act, except A, taking a net listing. B, commingling. C, accepting a secret profit. Or D, not disclosing dual agency. So which is the answer? You're sending me an apple? Cool. I gotta juice some apples. Very good. Type the answer in the chat. A, and that is correct. Take a net listing. In the state of Texas, net listings are legal. All the others are not. I don't mean all the other listings. I mean all the other answers. Okay, very good. Okay, here's another long one that I would probably skip until I get all the other ones done. Man, I could reduce it to 200. All right, 104. A licensee must present the information about brokerage services known as IABS to all prospective sellers and buyers at the first substantive dialogue. The definition of substantive dialogue is a substantive discussion at the first meeting involving a specific property. B, any discussion when meeting a prospect with the exception of those at an open house. C, a meeting or written communication that involves a substantive discussion regarding a specific property. Or D, any discussion with a prospect, including a meeting, telephone conversation, or email. So what is a substantive discussion? Type your answer in the chat and we'll be back for the answer. Hey, Ruth, welcome to the class. All right, and the answer is, oh, it is not D, and it is not A. So that leaves B and C. It's not D, it's not A. So leaves B or C. Much better. And the answer is C. So a substantive dialogue is a meeting or written communication that involves a substantive discussion regarding a specific property. Okay, if they're talking about a whole bunch of different properties, like at an open house or just want you to send them listings and stuff, so you can just, give them quickly. But if you forget to do it, okay, you're not going to lose your license. However, when there's a substantive conversation, detailed conversation, discussion regarding one property, one specific property, okay? And so verbal, written, nowadays we do verbal, written, video, Zoom, you name it, we do it, right? We're in a virtual world, but even then. So the answer is 104C. Y'all get it? The difference in the other one, the first one said a substantive discussion at the first meeting involving a specific property. So they don't have to meet in person, okay? It can be a meeting or written. The second one, B, says any discussion when meeting a prospect with the exception of those at an open house. Okay, so if they're meeting a person anywhere and they're talking about a specific property, then they can. And then the last one says any discussion with a prospect, including a meeting, telephone conversation, or email. Okay, it doesn't say a substantive conversation, okay, discussion. It's not just any discussion. So it's a meeting or written communication that involves a substantive discussion regarding a specific property. Okay, very good. Number 105. So give me a moment while I take a sip. Or a gulp. All right, number 105 on Texas state questions. A licensed salesperson that does not have a sponsoring broker has an inactive license. So this person is what? So as soon as you pass your exams, Trek gets your license from the testing center, right? And you go inactive. So a licensed person, salesperson that does not have a sponsor, sponsoring. Oh, and I can also sponsor you. Okay, I'm with EXP. I'm a realtor. So, let's talk, because you're going to be interviewing a lot of brokers or sponsors. At EXP, we have a broker sponsor and a realtor sponsor. Contact me to find out why. Okay, so this person can do what? A, may accept referral fees, but not engage in any direct real estate sales or leasing services. B, may not perform any real estate services or receive any fees from such services or receive any referral fees from any broker. C, may perform real estate services as long as he or she does not accept any form of payment. Or D, may perform real estate services under the legal department of Texas Real Estate Commission. Wow, really? Okay, so type your answer in the chat, the question number and the answer. And so far, I've got B and B from Jen and Elida. Okay, there's a whole bunch of you on here. So, there's about 15 of you. Awesome. Thank you so much for attending. You mean the world to me, and I look forward to hearing that you passed. Whether you join me or not at EXP, I want to know. And give me feedback and let me know what I could do to improve, or what you like and what you don't like. Can't please everybody. However, I can do my best. So the answer is B. May not perform any real estate services or receives any fees from such services or receive any referral fees from any broker. We cannot do any in inactive status. We cannot discuss real estate. We cannot show property. We cannot make promises. We can tell them, soon I will have my active license and I'll be able to help you. I would gratefully appreciate if you can wait for me until then, because at this point, if I do help you with anything, I will not be able to become a realtor. Okay? Awesome. So we all know that, right? Good. All right, number 6, 106. What penalties would a licensee face if, while on inactive status, he or she completes a lease negotiation or sells a property? Well, we already know that we can't do business, right? So A, none, since a valid license is held. B, full penalty provisions of the Act. C, a reprimand. Or D, an administrative penalty. So type your answer in the chat and we'll be back. Come on, type your answer in the chat. So far, I have 106D. It is not D, Elida, so go ahead and take another attempt. And the answer is, very good. The answer is B, the full penalty provisions of the Act. A license, an active license is required, not inactive, right? All right, number 107. Moving right along. Oh boy, here's another long one. Should I skip it? No, not during class, right? Should I mark it for review? Can't do that, right? Okay. But you can on the exam and come back to it after you answer all the easy ones. All right, number 107. Salesperson Judy Jones has found the perfect house for herself. She learns that the owner may be interested in selling, so she introduces herself and is allowed to make a listing presentation. She gets the listing for her brokerage after presenting a CMA, competitive market analysis, right? Includes active, pending, and sold. Then emphasizes the lowest priced home in the neighborhood. As a result, the CMA, competitive market analysis, the seller decides on a relatively low asking price. Judy immediately presents a full price offer from her cousin, but does not reveal the relationship to the seller. The offer is accepted by the seller. A few days after the sale closes, Judy buys the property from her cousin. Judy's conduct is what? A, acceptable because she did not purchase the property directly from the seller. B, acceptable because Judy presented valid sales data and allowed the seller to determine the asking price. C, unacceptable because Judy should have waited at least 6 months before buying the property from her cousin. Or D, unacceptable as a violation of her fiduciary obligations to her client. Whose interest do we put first? What is our first responsibility? Okay, she may not get caught. Okay, unless the seller is savvy, that somebody else could turn her in. This is unethical. This is illegal. Never, 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 never do something like this. Even though, you call it a little white lie, a white lie can become a big lie. It's actually a big lie. So 107 is D. Very good. It is not, let's see. No, everybody answered D. Awesome. Very good. Darn it, I didn't click the 106. I'm talking to myself. Okay. Because I'm typing the answer in different places, more than one. All right, number 108. Oh my gosh. Instead of 275, I did 2752 on the resolution. What are we on? 108. Oh, that's funny. I typed 1077. That's my unwind alarm. Okay, at 8 o'clock. So let me correct the answer over there. 107B. All right, 108. One found guilty of a violation of the Texas Deceptive Trade Practices Act will face which of the following consequences? So one found guilty of a violation for the Texas Deceptive Trade Practices Act will face which of the following consequences? A, loss of this real estate license, jail time, and punitive damages equal to twice actual damages. B, possibility of being assessed treble damages. C, will automatically be assessed treble damages. Or D, civil penalties equal to 3 times the amount of damages plus criminal penalties up to $50,000. Type your answer in the chat. I need to think about that one, huh? Okay, I'll put some music on. Okay, let's see. That is a tricky one. So far, I have 108D, 108D. It is not. It is not D. I understand that one. Yeah. Give it another whirl because it is not D. So let's check it out. So let's see. D. No, it is not D. Okay, the possibility of being assessed treble damages. It means they can get lose the license, jail time, and punitive damages. Okay, they could get all three. Okay, so it's the possibility of being assessed treble damages. They first have to have a hearing, and whoever complained, okay, they have a hearing first. It's not an automatic penalty. So they have to have a hearing at the courthouse of where the realtor or broker lives. If they don't reply within the notice that Trek sends, then it will be held in Austin. Okay, so you might have a question like that. So 108B, possibility of being assessed treble damages. Okay, it says possibility, not will, not always, or must. Okay, those are tricky words when used in some of the questions. If they're used in every single question, then it's going to be that. But if it's going to be one of them that has the word must or always or never. The baby kitty is bugging my senior citizen. They're characters, I swear. It's because sun is down. They want to go out. Okay, number 109. Which of the following does the Texas Real Estate Commission not, Lily, not, I screwed up on one of them before. It's true or false, right? Not have the authority to do. Which of the following does Trek not have the authority to do? A, hire an administrator to supervise the activities of the employed staff at the Texas Real Estate Commission. B, initiate an investigation of a licensee upon a signed complaint submitted by an unhappy consumer of real estate brokerage services. C, command the production of documents and the appearances of witnesses for hearing conducted by it. Or D, increase the education requirements for a person desiring a broker license. So which one are they not authorized to do? Type your answer in the chat and I'll be back. I'm going to let my critters out. Let's see, don't have any answers so far. 109D, questionable, says Jen. So let's get to it. Only one person. Well, the answer is 109D. Very good. Yes, they cannot increase the education requirements for a person desiring a broker license. They are already specified and they can't change it on a whim. So it has to be approved. So the answer is 109D. They cannot have the authority to increase the education requirements for a person desiring a broker license. So let's see what the answer says. The Texas Real Estate Commission only has the authority to administer the provisions of the Texas Real Estate License Act, known as TRELA. Education requirements are established by the legislature and are part of the Texas Real Estate License Act, right? So it by law, by the legislature. Very good, Ben. Okay, number 110. The maximum tenancy that may be addressed in a Texas Real Estate Commission seller's or buyer's temporary lease is the maximum tenancy that may be addressed in a Texas Real Estate Commission seller's or buyer's temporary lease. So you have to know when do these temporary leases occur? Right? A, 180 days, B, 90 days, C, 48 hours, or D, 72 hours. Write your answer in the chat. Give you a little time to answer that. That could be a tricky one, right? It's not a traditional rental lease, okay? This happens during a contract. It's an additional addendum that becomes part of the contract. Okay, so let's see what everybody typed. So I have 110B, A, B. Jonathan, I would take another attempt. It is not A. So think about a buyer or a seller needing time either to move out or needing to move in prior to close. How much time would the state allow, okay, through Texas Real Estate Commission? The answer is B, it is 90 days. So there's an addendum. If a seller needs time to rent back, say they need time to stay there and move to another area, the buyer can allow them up to 90 days and that seller will pay a lease amount, okay? And it could be the mortgage payment for the buyer, because their mortgage is going to start. If it is the buyer that needs time, it means that they want to start living in the home prior to close, which not recommended, okay, because things could happen. But if the seller agrees, that's up to the seller. So it is maximum 90 days according to the addendum. And so, see, the Texas Real Estate Commission promulgated sellers and buyers temporary lease have a notice at the top that warns that the form is not to be used for tenancy that exceeds 90 days. Okay, excellent. Very good, very good. Okay, so that was the last question for exam number 4. See why I like this book? Look at the answers. Okay, they explain, okay, the answers. So I can show you the answer for 110. Most books give you the letter answer. And I have difficulty finding books like this one. I found another one, but I wasn't too crazy about it. So you see how it explains the answers? The Texas Property Code requires that a property be occupied by a tenant for more than 90 days to meet all of the statutory requirements listed in Chapter 92. The Texas Real Estate Commission promulgated sellers and buyers temporary lease have a notice at the top that warns that the form is not to be used for a tenancy that exceeds 90 days. So it's different than the statutory code says that be occupied for more than 90 days, but TREC says up to 90 days, cannot exceed. All right, y'all. If there aren't any further questions, I'll remind you, hey, send me some love, subscribe to my channel, click that like button, click the little bell, the little jingle bell, okay, so that you're alerted every time that I go live. You know, send me some love, send me support. You encourage me and you motivate me to create a lot more videos like this to help you pass and then also to get your business started. And secondly, I am looking for realtors to join me at EXP. Okay, I'm not a broker, but at EXP, we sponsor other realtors that are interested in joining us at EXP. We have a mentorship program, lots of benefits and different ways that you can earn income aside from just commission. All right. So there's also a link on the YouTube video on the description that says you can schedule an appointment with me for 30 minutes using Calendly. So you've got access to anything that you want on there, some YouTube videos to watch. Because of Donnie, he put all the different videos from 2022 into a playlist. So I ended up doing that on our YouTube channel so that you can access everything that I've been doing this year. Okay, that has the title 2022. All right, y'all, I love you. Thank you so much for being here, for studying, being so committed. And Jonathan, I'm so proud of you that you're continuing to study, even though you have to now take the 2 courses and reapply to take it another time. Okay, y'all, with all that, until next time, catch you later. Have a good night.